Good morning.
Good morning, Rob.
How's everybody
Morning,
doing?
Rob.
Doing good.
We staying
Great.
dry.
Yeah, is it it's supposed to hit tomorrow or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not looking, at least as of last night, wasn't looking too good, was it?
No. These tracks last minute. We really won't know till probably tomorrow evening, really, because it's 100 miles. It could go either direction. So
Yep. So as they say in Arizona, we don't have any of these things. No big rain, no hurricanes. Only thing they have is illegals crossing the border. That's what they got.
that's funny.
So eh, all of our platinum team leaders and platinum agents and above, you guys psyched for Baltimore? Not the best place in the world to go, but it's not bad.
We're excited as long as we get to be with the Remax family. It could be anywhere, but I heard Baltimore is nice anyway, so we're excited.
Yeah. And I have a great audience for us to be there. So to some nice team leaders, top agents, it's gonna be good. So can you believe like last Tuesday's beginning of Q4? That means we got to start working on what are we going to be doing for 25? What's the business planning metrics?
Rob, the games are won, just like in sports. The games are won in the fourth quarter, right? Won and lost in the fourth quarter. This fourth quarter is pivotal.
Well, I'll give you another analogy though, right? Anybody a big college sports fan? Nobody.
I'm big.
Did you
Miami
see?
Hurricanes.
Did you see Alabama beat Georgia last week, and then the following week they lose to Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I saw Vanderbilt was celebrating on the streets. I saw.
Right, but is that because they're a better team?
I wouldn't say better team. I would say they believed in themselves, that they had the confidence
So
to be number one.
I'm gonna take it a step further and say that they outprepared Alabama, and Alabama took it for granted, right? They looked past that game because it was a 2-2 team they were playing against. So they beat number 2 Georgia. They spent all their time celebrating that win, and then they got their ass kicked by a 500 team, an average team kicked their butt. So the same thing is true for us, and I think Michael would take it a different level and say, we don't prepare for 2025, we're not going to optimize. We might have a good record, but we won't be everything we could be. And in terms of preparation, I know everybody typically prepares by themselves with some off the rack business plan, but I think we should probably have some strategic initiatives that we should be deploying. And I climb on the shoulders of you giants, and some of the things that I think we can be doing is really optimizing technology more. Using ChatGPT. We should also be looking at where did our business come from last year, right? And figuring out, do we want more? Do we want to put the pedal down on that business? Do we want to just kind of harvest that business, or do we want to really, to grow it? I am in conversation with a refugee, somebody looking to get out of Canada, and he's a partner with a Remax organization up there. He's looking to escape to Florida, and when I'm talking to him about how he runs his team and how he runs his brokerage, tremendous structure, tremendous structure. And, I think if we can build in a little bit more structure, and I'm looking at, it's difficult because we're all independent contractors, but left independently, they're going to probably, what next year is going to most look like if we don't do some dramatic things, it's going to look like this year. And if they're not happy with this year, which probably a lot of them aren't, then we need to do something different. Would you all agree?
Definitely.
So,
Yes, sir.
and Michael, for you got a young team, Danielle, you have some part-timers, Lynn, you have an eclectic group of people that are at different levels, right? And we got to figure out how do we help them help themselves, right? Because I think if you're to look at before Glenn Baker's accountability, I think most team members look at accountability as my team leader is trying to squeeze more out of me, right? That's the mindset that they have is this greedy team leader is trying to force me to make more money and be more successful. If they really thought through it, they would realize and catch themselves, but they really don't. And, I'm going to keep repeating, what I heard from one of Glenn's team members, Candace, was, we were at the Rockaway happy hour, porch party on the porch, whatever they call it. And Glenn wasn't there. So it wasn't like she was looking to get brownie points. There's 5 agents doing 100 to 350,000 in commission plus Candace, and they're all talking. And even though they didn't know it, Glenn, they were like, "Oh, well, when are you gonna go off on your own?" As if that was a graduation, if that was a natural progression, right? And without breaking a beat, she's like, "I'm never going on my own." People are looking at her like, "What?" She's like, "Well, I need the accountability and the support that I get from the team, that I wouldn't be half of what I was if I wasn't part of the team." So to me, that was like, if you guys all saw it, you'd be amazed. I don't mean to embarrass you, Glenn, but that was exactly what she had said to other team members. And that's what we need to strive for, right? How do we change people's lives that are affiliated with us in a positive way where they know that it's, Lynn, just because you're on camera, I'm just going to call on you. But, if people look at you and they say, I see you took it. All right. So if people look at you and they say, you're just trying to, make a couple extra bucks by squeezing a little bit more out of me, then that's a different message than, hey, if we're going to be together, let's come up with a plan. Is it okay if I push you with your plan to help you become a little bit better? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And those are the conversations that we need to start having at this point. And before we can have them, you know what we need to do? We need to figure out, what our standard is. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow a quote that I did on Friday. A couple of people texted me because they said they couldn't hear it while on the my lousy connection Friday. It was a Tony Robbins quote. And of course my phone's acting up. But anyway, it was talking about, you want to do better, you need to change your standard, right? And our standard is, what does it take to be on the team? And in a global picture, it's like, what's your standard for life, right? I mean, it's easy not to go to the gym, to eat unhealthy, and do all these things, but you know what you're going to get, right? You're not going to get the outcome that you want. And I think leaders need to be, let me just find it here. Leadership is living life by your standard. Most important skill of leadership is influence, the ability to change the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions of another for a greater good. Influence is the skill that brings you in relation with people. The most important person to influence is yourself. You must first control your state of mind. Then you must control your blueprint or your pattern. Kind of deep. And when it says you must first control yourself, if you're not in a good place, do you think you can lead people? Absolutely not, right? So leadership is living your life by your own standard. Leadership is caring. Leadership is influencing others. And those that you must influence are the people that are on your team, right? And now that we're coming to business planning, I'm just gonna, start. Mike Gopi, how many people on your team are financially comfortable with the performance that they did in 2024?
They're never comfortable. You can never be comfortable in life, because if you're comfortable, you're content. You always want to achieve higher. So I would
Right,
say
but I think, but you have people on your team that are hedging their bets, they're waiting tables, they're doing side hustles because they need to get to where they need to be. And, this year I'm going to push you to try to get them to be, 100% club or close to platinum, which is 100 to 250,000 in GCI from real estate, which is very realistic if they follow the footprint or they follow the game plan.
you,
Yeah,
you know what, Rob? I actually, believe it or not, I like that all my team came. None of my team members have experience. I love the challenge to know that we turned into a platinum team with every member with a second job, with zero sales. It feels good. So I'm making them believe, and they really seen the potential, but we're working their inner circle at their other jobs, and they making more money this year than last year. So they have a lot of confidence. So we're setting up a good plan for 2025. So
Michael, so one thing I didn't say from the Tony Robbins quote that I wrote down, which was the last sentence, which is sometimes it's better not to have a net.
agree.
Right. And I don't get me wrong, I don't want to see people destroy their lives or be stressed out because they can't pay the bills. And, sometimes real estate's not for everybody, right? They can't manage the independence of it. But I think as leaders, we need to identify and get everybody up to their potential. And oh, look at Carlos is on video. Carlos, we got to get everybody on your team making 100% club or better. And that's part of the leadership piece that we all need to do. And now is the business planning time. We need to figure out our business plan, and then we need to go one by one with our team members and figure out how we're going to get them where they need to be. I mean, Chopper, you're in that same boat. We need to get you and Patrick to get the rest of your team up to par, and then you'll be you'll be unstoppable. They'll have to create a new award for you, Chopper. Pinnacle won't be high enough.
Got to get there first.
Right, but that's what I'm talking about. Is if we can get, if we could start to formulate what we see the team being, and then we meet with every team member, and if they don't fit, we need to make a decision. If we allow mediocrity, then we kind of lowered our standard. Right, and it's hard because everybody's got a story. Danielle's still upset at me because we let two people go to get full-time jobs, right, Danielle? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I wish there was a way I could have done better to stop that.
I think the next best thing that we can do is find replacements and then coach them up if that's
Yeah.
where they want to be. And that'll be part of our plan.
Absolutely.
And by the way, what did you do to Scott DeVoe?
Yeah, that's awesome. I know he's doing great. He he turned things around and he saw that it was possible. And I'm just like, you're not putting enough hours in, you're not putting the time in. I promise you, put the time, put the effort, like don't give up and the business will come. And he turned it around tenfold.
I mean, literally, I think this week, what he had like a 1.2 and a $2 million closing.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? He unfortunately and I tell my team members this all the time. When I first started out, I had a young family. It was hard to give up your weekends and your Saturdays. And and that's what he did. His wife was home for the summer. She didn't want him working weekends. And I was like, you got to put it all in, do it for yourself. You have to, like, this is what's required in this business right now to be successful. And he did. And he put the time in. He never did open houses. I had him doing open houses. He got his own buyer at almost every open house, and other listings. So it was a lot of little things that are important.
But I mean, we both knew that he had a lot of talent, because he could sell ice to Eskimos, right?
Right,
But it was about the consistency, right?
right.
And now,
Consistency.
I haven't been down there as much as I should. I apologize, but man, am I seeing the results with the sales going on the board and the closings coming in. Just
Yep,
amazing.
it's all about the consistency. That's the best word.
So, maybe before next call, we're going to take a look at what's going to be different as we plan for 2025. Look at the team members that are making us proud, that we're proud to be, part of, and let's look at the ones that maybe aren't performing where they need to be, and maybe have some heart to hearts with them and come up with a business plan for the future. I mean, I don't think the market's going to save us. I don't think anybody's putting us out of business as an industry. Technology is not putting us out of business. Technology is putting the agents that don't deploy technology out of business. But it's what do they say? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So let's evaluate that. Does everybody, or let me rephrase this. Does anybody know, the different sources for all your business? Does anybody track all that?
Yes.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, Sisu tracks it. I just look at it.
Where does most of your business come from, Glenn, as far as business source?
33% is all open houses. So 33% of all of our closings are from open houses. The Redfin is 12% of our business. And then the balance is self-sourced or mine, basically ones that I hand off, and it's about a 50-50 split there.
So that means, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that probably at least half of your buyers that are from open houses, if 33% of your business, right?
Yeah. Some of our agents perform at 50% of their business is open houses. Some are less than that, but open houses are absolutely a place we get most of our business.
Do you role play and train for what an open house should look like?
To be honest, not open houses anymore because the team is so good at it. We focus now more on how to make calls.
And Glenn, is it the preparation for the open house? Is it the follow-up systems? What do you think is the traction that you get for the open house performance?
I think it's the whole package. It's everything we do is calculated. It's 3 pages of process, right?
Do you think that you particularly excel at like driving traffic to the open house through social media? Do you think that you excel at communications at the open house, or would it be the follow-up? Like if you were to try to identify where's the strength for the team at overall, not just individuals.
I think the weakest point is follow-up for us. I think that we excel at driving traffic and the conversation in the home. And then if you are not the one that's ready to pull the trigger, you're probably falling to the wayside with the team. They just focus in on the ones like razor sharp, on the ones that are ready to make a move or tell us they hate their agent.
Is anyone doing a holiday blitz, like a pop by, get in your face, get to see everybody eye to eye?
Yeah, I do. On Thanksgiving, I deliver pumpkin pies to all my clients. They actually, it gives me an opportunity to sit with them and and not talk business, just to see them. It's very important that we see our clients. So yeah, every Thanksgiving I do that.
Michael, how many do you deliver?
Probably at least 50 plus.
And what about your team members? Do they do it or no?
Yeah, I do it with them. We make a little thing that we put on the pumpkin pie that we're thankful for you, and with the Remax logo with our picture, and we deliver it. I have all of them engaged. So I would say last year I probably had at least each team member probably had at least 5 of their clients that we delivered to also, and we were able to get some business from that and referrals.
The ROI of a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, we did it for the first time last year. I was like stunned that we made everyone come to us. We didn't go out and distribute them. And it was 125. And I was laughing to myself. I'm like, it cost them more in gas than it did me for the pie, right? Like I was like, why would they come? And the answer is they came to see us, right?
So you had them come to the office instead of go to them.
Yeah, and people traveled pretty far. Like I was like, I couldn't understand. I wouldn't get out of bed for the pumpkin pie, and these people came to us. I was like, wow.
Now I went to their house. I like going to their house and seeing them more personal, but the other way is not bad either. But it's just to get out there and just see our clients and just spend time with them.
Michael, do you call them first and tell them that you're coming out?
Yeah, I call them first. I do multiple things throughout the year. I call them first and I let them know that I'm coming out. I schedule an appointment. Also, around summertime, I deliver mangoes from my mango tree too, to my top clients. So I'm always visiting them, dropping things off throughout the season.
That's cool.
And I know, Glenn, you do like client appreciation events. Does anybody else do them regularly? Chopper, you do too many to even mention. You rent out a ski resort, so that's not fair. Anybody who else does client appreciation events? What do you do?
I do one once a year after all the holidays settle. We do a party. Actually, I hosted at my house, and they have it catered, live music. We do a theme. We have a gift for them when they leave. We invite anybody that's, even if they haven't purchased or just thought about it and then stepped by the wayside, maybe we'll get a referral out of them. So we have about 150 people at our house.
And is it your clients or your teams or a mishmash of both?
We mix. We wait till after the new year because we're in South Florida. We have to wait till it's in season. Some people don't live here off season.
So I actually attended one of Sandy Chambers' events. She did it at her son has a large property. I think she had like 400 people there, and I think she got 7 deals out of it. But what her assessment is that she needed to do a better job at training the team members on, working the event instead of being guests. It really rubbed her the wrong way that everybody on her team thought it was a party for them instead of, appreciating and no, I'm not even kidding, appreciating and, showing respect for the people that attended on their invitation.
Same thing for mine this weekend. I'm with Sandy on that one. Man, I was like bent over that.
It should be about them for sure.
Glenn, you can't assume, right? You can't assume. And then, once we get past business planning, I want to be intentional about if we go to R4 and maybe bring a team member or two and teach them how to work R4 to get referrals, not just to go there and learn, because it's a great activity. Some people go there, they learn. Some people go there, they network and have fun. And some people do all the above. And I think there's a strategy and a process for doing that. Lastly, I would like to reflect back on, what we invest in. And when we go to Baltimore, if you're able to go, I'm going to be asking the group, like, what should we be doing more of? What should we be doing less of? So start planning the critical list for me, because I can take it. Hey, Rob, this is a waste. Hey, Rob, we should do more of this. And looking at lead capture costs, right? And Glenn might have a different lens, but I still think that what do you pay Redfin for those 12% of your leads?
35%.
35% referral fee. And you probably pay them close to 100 grand.
I would think so.
Well,
Yeah, I'd have to look, but it's a lot.
it's a lot. So my thought is, as we look into 2025, you know, how can we, whether it's a transactional cut or whether it's a monthly investment that's hard cash, what can we be doing different that would get us a better return? For example, if you took 100,000, Glenn, and you promoted that and gave back to the community, would you get more business than giving it to Redfin?
Yep.
Okay, and you know, team leaders might have the bias of saying, well, I can do both, but I just want to give you a frame of reference that 100,000 that you paid them, it's real money, right? That's money that if you had sourced those leads yourself and everybody has a full slate of clients, what if you gave the money back to the clients through enhanced services, or you did things to show better appreciation to the clients? And I'll bet you, like, if you sent somebody out, you know, a $20 book or a $20 gift certificate, right? They'd be, oh my God, thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you so much, Chopper. Thank you, Lynn. And you think about how much we pay just for, hello, I'm calling you from Zillow, right? There's like $600, $1,000 just for that connection, right?
Yeah.
You know, what can we do? You know, that's a lot of pumpkin, apple, cherry pies that we're giving away, right? And maybe, you know, Glenn, how much was your event to put on?
This weekend,
Yeah.
2,000.
Did you get any lender support or affiliate or no?
I usually don't use them for that stuff.
Okay.
I don't want any hands in my pockets.
So you have $2 grand investment, and I'm guessing that, like, there's no question that there's a positive ROI that you can probably measure in 90 days, right?
Oh, heck yeah. Every one of them, every time we've run it.
And how many people showed up from your team?
A quarter.
A quarter. Why is that?
Wish I knew. They don't have an appreciation for events. They don't have an appreciation for.
You had what, 2 or 3 people didn't, I mean, one was doing an open house during your grand opening, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe 2, but I think there were 4 or 5 missing, right?
Yep.
One was at the Jets game. I can kind of understand that, but what about the rest?
One was fell ill in the morning, and legitimately ill. We know that.
Okay.
The other is a caregiver, so she can't come. So there was some valid ones, and there were some that were completely unacceptable.
Yeah. So anyway, let's evaluate our business. Let's look at what's going to be different in our 2025 business plan, and let's reconvene on that next week. And then start building up a big list of things that I can do better, or additional things that I can do, and maybe some things that I should stop doing, and bring them to Baltimore. And if for some reason you can't make it to Baltimore, let me know. Did everybody that was platinum or higher get the Baltimore invitation? Yes, no, if you didn't,
Yes.
you know, say, okay.
Yeah, good.
Michael, you're registered. Glenn, you're registered. Carlos, you're coming, right? Danielle, you're coming. I don't know who the iPhone is. Chopper, are you able to come? Chopper? All right, well, I'll just, we'll send out another reminder, but we have a good lineup there. We have the #1 individual agent in Maryland for 2022. I guess he wasn't #1 in 23, full disclosure, but and then we have a couple of team leaders. One individual that I saw speak at R4 named Ron Howard, and it's not the Ron Howard from TV. It's his name's Ron Howard. He runs a team there. I looked him up. He's a Pinnacle team member, which is 2 million in GCI. And when I looked him up on Zillow, we had 30 active listings. So that's not too bad. How many active listings do you have, Glenn?
11.
11. So maybe you just sell him quicker, or maybe he's somebody that we can look up to on some things that he's doing.
Heck
When
yeah.
I saw him speak at R4, You know, he was very good with leveraging, you know, overseas resources on specialty technology. Okay, in other words, I think he ran, if my recollection is correct, he did a lot of like inline advertising on YouTube, and like when people had searched for, you know, moving to Baltimore or Baltimore schools, right? And they watched the video, he was in line placing his promotional material there, and he felt that that generated a lot of his lead activity. So I thought it was interesting. Usually yawning my way through some of these speakers, but I saw him 2 or 3 years ago and he left an impression. I reached out to our regional team, said, can you put me in touch with him? And his broker owner reached out to me and said, we'd love to host you with the event. So I'm really looking forward to that. I will see you all next week. And if you have anything you need me for, as always, just reach out.
Have a good week, everybody.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
Rob.
Thanks, bro. Take care.